British versus American English. Which one should you actually learn? It's the big question for so many people. So let's dive right in and figure it out. So picture this. You're putting in the hours, you're learning all the rules, building up that vocabulary, but then it hits you. Wait a minute, which English am I actually learning? And it can get really confusing, right? Your teacher might be using British spelling, but then your favorite YouTuber uses American slang, and your boss is all about American business terms. I mean, they're all speaking English, but wow, do they sound completely different. Okay, so let's talk about where they fit in the world. American English is, well, it's absolutely dominant in global media, tech, and business. Just think about movies, YouTube, pop music. It is everywhere.
Right. Whereas British English is often seen as a bit more traditional. It's the standard in the UK and a lot of Commonwealth countries, and it does hold a certain kind of prestige. It's often the standard in fields like international law, diplomacy, and certain academic circles.
So what's the honest, practical answer for most of you out there? We'd say start with American English. It's just more practical for communicating with people all over the world. But, and this is super important, then learn the British differences. That way you can understand both and you'll never feel lost. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty, starting with vocabulary. This is where you'll notice some of the most obvious differences. We're talking about the same object, but a completely different word. Let's do a little quick-fire round. I'll say the American word, and my brilliant colleague here is going to give us the British version. Ready? Okay. Apartment.
Flat.
Elevator.
Lift.
Truck.
Lorry.
And how about the trunk of a car?
That would be the boot.
And this just brilliantly shows the difference in a full sentence. In the UK, I'd say something like, I'm going on holiday. Let me post this in the post box. And in the US, I'd say, I'm going on vacation. Let me mail this at the mailbox. You see? Same exact meaning, but totally different words. Next up, spelling and grammar. Oh yeah, these are the subtle little traps that can really trip you up, especially when you're writing. A pretty good rule of thumb is that American English tends to simplify things. A lot of this actually goes way back to reformers like Noah Webster, who wanted American spelling to just be more logical. That's why we drop the U in words like color and favor. Indeed, we British, we like to keep that U in color and favorite. We also prefer RE at the end of words like center, while you Americans use ER. And of course, there's the classic eyes versus eyes. So a proper British sentence would be spelled out like this: I favor the color of that jewelry, while the American version is, I favor the color of that jewelry. See what I mean? A little bit simpler. Now for a pretty major grammar split. Collective nouns. In American English, a group like a team or a company is treated as one single thing. So we say, the team is playing well. But in British English, we often think about the individuals within that group. So it's perfectly natural for us to say, the team are playing well, because we're picturing all the different players. All right, let's talk about what you actually hear. Pronunciation is, well, it's arguably the biggest giveaway. How you say a single word can instantly tell people where you learned your English. Okay, time for another rapid-fire comparison. Listen really closely to this. I'll say the American, and then you'll hear the British right after. Schedule.
Schedule.
Tomato.
Tomato.
Data.
Data.
Wow, the difference is huge, isn't it? Okay, I know that was a lot of information to take in, so we've put together the ultimate cheat sheet for you. Seriously, this is the slide to screenshot, save, and memorize. Let's just do a quick recap. For spelling, remember, American English likes to simplify things, like color without the U. For vocabulary, think apartment and vacation. Whereas in the UK, it's color for spelling, and flat and holiday for vocabulary. Simple as that. For pronunciation, I say tomato, and when it comes to grammar, it's the team is winning. And I say tomato, and for me, the team are winning. This is your go-to guide for a quick refresher anytime you need. All right, time for a little bit of fun. We've covered all the key differences, so now let's see if you can actually spot them in action. You ready for a quick quiz? All right, question number 1. Listen carefully to this sentence. I'm taking the lift to my flat. So is that British or American? Question 2. The team is winning the game. What do you think? And for the final question, I fancy a cup of tea. Where in the world would you hear that? Okay, let's see how you did. Number 1 was totally British because of lift and flat. Number 2 was American, thanks to that grammar, team is. And number 3 was definitely British. Fancy and cuppa are dead giveaways. Awesome job. So, the most important thing now is to take this knowledge and use it in the real world. So here's your mission. This week, watch one British TV show, maybe something like The Crown or Sherlock, and one American show, like Friends or Stranger Things. And I want you to actively listen for all the little differences we talked about today. It's really the best way to train your ear. And that brings us to our final question for you. After hearing all of this, which accent do you personally prefer? Is it that refined sound of British English or the global reach of American English? Go ahead and let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.